के छाँव से फिसल के हम मिले जहाँ पर लम्हा थम गया।
आसमां पिघल के शीशे में ढल के जम गया तो तेरा चेहरा बन गया।
दुनिया भुला के तुमसे मिला हूँ, निकली है दिल से ये दुआ। रंग दे तू मोहे गेरुआ, राजे की दिल से है दुआ। रंग दे तू मोहे गेरुआ,
निकली है दिल से ये दुआ।
रंग दे तू मोहे गेरुआ। फना है सूफियाना ये दास्तां, मैं कारवां मंजिल हो तुम, जाता जहाँ को हर रास्ता।
तुमसे जुड़ा जो दिल जरा संभल के, दर्द का वो सारा सहारा छन गया।
दुनिया बुला के तुमसे मिला हूँ, निकली है दिल से ये दुआ। रंग दे तू मोहे गेरुआ, ओ राजे की दिल से है दुआ। रंग दे तू मोहे गेरुआ।
successfully without any hurdle. And so the purpose of the
I have these things.
come up front. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Vijuhirang Mamahesh Putrak Samasta Victor Vinasharacham. Mangalya Puja Pratamang Pradhanam Grihana Devang Bhagavan Namaste. Om Gananam Tva Ganapati Gwamavamahi Priyanam Tva Priyapati Gwamavamahi Dinam Tva Nidipati Gwamavamahi Vyaso Mama Ahamajani Garbharamatva Majasi Garbharam Om Samukasya Ikarantacham Kapilokachakarnaka Lambodharasya Vigato Viktanash Vinayakam Dhurmaketu Kanadaksho Vasandrukacharana Dwarasaitarnamani Yapate Sunyarvi Prem Surusri Ganesh Bhagwan Ki Jai Gauri Mata Ki Jai Ramangalamangale Shive Sarvar Sadike Shankramake Gauri Narayana Makidem Brahma Mangalam Bhagwan Vishnu Mangalam Kumrikakya Mangalai Kanuri Sajaran Pavitran Pavana Charam Mahaparam Yanikan Papani Janmantan Pitani Yarikani Krishanti Krishanai
It's okay.
David, where? Keep it. Give it. See it, keeping it. Keep it. See it, keep it. You give it a lot.
I know.
Yeah, keep it.
Yeah.
Don't tell it. Prem Sri Sri Ramachandra Bhagwan Ki Jai. All right, on Parchi. What are the bride out for the Parchi Dulha? Take it to water. Om Vigneshwaraya Varadaya Surapriyaya Lambodharaya Sakala Jagaditaya Nagaranath Sudiyagya Vibhushitaya Gauri Sutaya Gadanath Namo Namaste Ekadantaya Vidmahi Vapratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Om Shanna Mitra Shanvaruna Shanno Bhavatu Aryamat Shanna Indro Brihaspati Shanna Vishnu Rukrama. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yavar Ramachandra Bhagwan ki Jai. So gentlemen, first of all we give thanks to God for this day, for this moment, this occasion. Secondly, I want to, on behalf of the bride's family, represented here by her father, we would like to extend a very cordial and a very warm and hearty welcome to all of you who have come here accompanying the main person, the main man for the day, who is our bridegroom and his family, and pretty sure all of your family and friends. So we want to welcome all of you, especially to you, Bhaji.
Okay.
Special welcome to you, representing your entire family, your entire parivar. So welcome to you today, and Panditji, welcome to you too, and all of you who have chosen to join us here. So this is a very special day, because what is happening today has never happened before, and it cannot happen again. It only happened once, and this is the day when it's happening, and this is the moment it's happening in real time. After this, it can't happen. You can't get married to the same woman again another day like this. So it only happens, it's historic. And all of us who are here are part of the history-making event today. So for the records, all of you are part of this history. Now today is not only about the union of two people, the bride and the groom. Not only two people coming together. Today is a union, more importantly, of two families that are coming together. The family of the bride embraces the family of the bridegroom. And that is indicative of the embrace, when both of you embrace there at the entrance. When you hug each other, you embrace, and you manage to lift him up from the ground. And you didn't think you would have managed to do that? You know you were strong, you didn't know you were that strong.
He worked out for 2 months. He's in a gym for 2 months.
We can see that, you can see that.
I brought him up on what the head.
Yeah, because he always thought that you would never manage. So he didn't bother to go to the gym and to lift you up because you could lift you up.
What I did, right? I took the first chance.
Yeah, and you won. So that embrace means now the family of Radha Dashrath embracing the family of Radha Janak. Both of you come, because every Hindu wedding is just a reenactment of the wedding of Prabhu Sri Ram and Sita. So we are reenacting all these beautiful traditions written in our scriptures. So today the bridegroom becomes Sri Ram, the bride becomes Sita Ma, you become Raja Dashrath, you become Raja Janak. And then we keep it to that tradition. We keep it, in that order. And then it has a lot of meaning, a lot of significance, and becomes spiritual. So, this is the day, as I said, when both families are coming together. I think like, sorry. We finished, I don't want to it's an interruption. Now, on this day, both of you are becoming Samti Bhai. Now you heard this word Samti, right? What is Samti? You know, in the English dictionary, you can't find a translation of the word Samti. You can look at all the words there. You can't find an equivalent to the word Samti. The Samti, you'll explain it, okay, my Samti Bhai is the father of my daughter-in-law. Right? You have to go wrong in the block to explain it like that. But it's the one specific word that describes it. That's how rich our vocabulary is and how rich our culture is. Right? So both of you become Samti Bhai. So the word Samti comes from the Sanskrit Sambandhi. Sam means one and the same. Bandh means to bind, to bond, to unite. So both of you are being united. Now what is beautiful about this Sambandh, this relationship, is that regardless how rich you are, regardless how poor you are, regardless how learned you are, regardless what status you have, Very nice, very well said. So your Samdi Bhai is also saying to you that today, oh Samdi, we didn't come here with the expectations of getting horses and chariots and elephants and wealth and all these things. We came here, you invited us, came to take his flower away. And he wants to assure you that, oh Samdeep, fear not, your child will be happy under his roof, his guidance, and his protection as the head of their family. Right? You must rest assured that it's going to happen. You must have no fear and don't feel sad when she leaves your door. You must feel happy because you're not losing a daughter, you're gaining a son. This is the son that you never had. You have 2 daughters. God bless you with. Now today, you count your blessings because today you're getting a son in your family. So you should feel very, very happy about that. Right. And this son you're going to get, now going to give your grandson. So the family extends from that downwards. Okay? I know. I've been through this. I've been through. I got grandsons. I got 2. So I know how it feels. I've been there. And towards the end of the ceremony, I couldn't take it anymore. I broke down. Yeah, I couldn't manage it. I tried to hold up during the whole ceremony. But when she was saying goodbye, this last final goodbye, and the car was driving off, that was the camera. The straw that broke the camera.
At that point in time, at that point in time, we forget the scripture that he said we should not get attached to each other.
No. The emotions kick in there.
We put that scripture on the side and we go straight to the heart now.
So the scriptures just fit to the
Yes. At that moment, we said,
Now, Dulha, the gentleman here, today, with open arms, he's welcoming you into his home, into his family, and more importantly, into his heart. He's welcoming you not as a son-in-law, because in the Hindu tradition, we strike out his in-laws. His in-laws are no good. I don't mean mother-in-law, father-in-law. I don't mean you strike them out. The word in-law you strike out. So if you strike out the in-law, son becomes what? Son-in-law becomes? And daughter-in-law becomes? And mother-in-law becomes? And father-in-law becomes? You're brilliant. Yeah.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. So today now, he's welcoming you as a son into his home, not a son-in-law. And if a person is going to extend that kind of affection to you and love, welcome you as a son, you got to take it seriously. It means that you must reciprocate the same kind of affection as a son towards his father. So the same love you have for your biological father, the same respect you have for him, the same affection you have for him, the same treatment, the same way you treat him, you must also treat your father-in-law who becomes now your father. Right? Now when you value the relationship in this manner, then there's no problem. You have a beautiful, peaceful, harmonious, happy relationship with everybody. Alright? Okay. So now he wants to do something for you, which he never got to do because you received you as a son in his home, but when you were little, he didn't get a chance to feed you. So he's going to feed you now that you're a grown man. Right? Yeah. So this is the first meal officially he's going to give to you.
Thank you.
So, the manager looking?
Everybody take one spoon and pass it down.
Yeah.
You're not gonna eat there?
no, not this part.
All right. Well,
This part only gonna just.
Okay. Yeah, my little.
we'll do me.
Brian, you gotta pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Stretch.
Anything, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Get some water.
You gotta eat each piece you give. You're not done yet.
No. He gotta feed you. Oh. He's feeding you. Remember, you're a little kid now. You're a newborn. You can't feed yourself.
Take your time. Next time I shoot.
Say that.
This is not a video. Oh, it is.
I mean, they might have diet again.
Till tomorrow.
Well, it's only for years, I gotta be strong. So this way you can lift me up.
You gotta lift him up. Okay, good. All right, sit down. All right, okay, gentlemen. Now, Brian, there are different types of taste. You have sweet, you have sour, you have bitter, you have spicy, you have acidity, all these things. Out of these words, I may just mention how this thing tastes. sweet. Right? So, this is symbolical. Because the reason why you choose to give something sweet. If you give something sour, it's different. Especially if you give pepper, you feel. You want you to, this palatable, and you feel nice when you eat something sweet. Right? Sweet is always something enjoyable. So what it means is that every word that you use to utter to him in the future, and your bride also, must be equally sweet as the sweet meat that you partake of today. Right? Yes. And secondly, you never bite the hand that feeds you. Right? Always be grateful. Somebody feeds you. So you're grateful not only because he fed you, you're grateful for all the things that he's done. Most importantly, for the gift that he's making to you today, which is the gift of his own daughter. So that you can make her your wife, your life companion, and she make you happy, you make her happy, both of you. Okay?
सच्चा मन का वो कोना जहाँ प्रेम रतन पाया प्रेम रतन पाया
Two young hearts, excited as they are, have made their way to this pavilion to be united to each other and to live here as a happily wedded couple. And we speak of our beautiful bride, Lynda, and our most handsome and dashing bridegroom, Brian. You've seen earlier where the young man made his appearance at the entry of this building. And right now he is reposing at the Janwas, where some important words of commitment were exchanged between the two heads of the households, the father of the bride and the father of the bridegroom. And certain pledges were made, whereby they guaranteed each other as the union of this family unfolds here today, both families, to be there for each other's children and to accept each other's family to their family. So that is what transpired a moment ago of her parental home, and to enter her new home alongside with her wedded and better half, Brian. Now this is a bittersweet moment for every parent and for every family, because when you have to say goodbye to a child who you love so much, who you raise with such delicateness and such affection and warmth and care, and comes a day when you'll have to say goodbye because she leaves your shelter and she moves on with her life to her new home, it can be a little painful experience. But the parents are consoled with the fact that they are confident and know that her days will be happier ahead, knowing the bridegroom to be a gentleman, a young man of integrity and decency, and someone who is fully responsible and who they know will make her even happier in his companionship. So this is indicated by the biting off of the mango leaves, the mango stems, which will be, the bride will give to her mother, and she will have to ingest that, and she ingested as a symbol of acceptance, accepting her daughter's request to leave her home and to move on to her new home. The bride's mama is here, his mamu, and he consoles his sister that all will be well with the new life of her child. Then immediately after that Imli Gotawi ceremony, the bride will perform puja to the deities, seeking their blessings beforehand, before she continues this journey into marriage. And we'll have some appropriate songs as we go along with the ceremony. So we have here Bablu Shankar and his group to entertain us. Please give this group a nice round of applause as well. And we have the most talented here, the Nightingale of New York. She's none other than Angie Pare. So give Angie a big hand as well. You will certainly enjoy these beautiful voices here. And we have Kevin here on the dolak, so give Kevin a big hand too. And give yourselves a big hand for being a nice audience here today too. Yeah, I expect that. So we shall now proceed with the ceremony. In case you're wondering how long it will take, that depends. It'll finish when we finish.
हाय वे मेरी आटा दिया रब्बा कि ना जानिया कि नाने ले जानिया है मधानिया मधानिया जानिया कि नाने ले जानिया है छोले ना बिछो सतरंगिया कबूतर बोले है कीटा मधानिया मधानिया जाने वाले दुल्हन जाने वाली दुल्हन खुशी खुशी जाना लेकिन एक ना था जाके निभाना हम दुखियों को भूल जाना ना भूल ना जाना बेटी भूल ना जाना रो रहे बाबुले रो रहे माए रो रहे माए रो रहे बाबुले रो रहे माए रो जाओगी सुहागन तीरथ कर.
A big hand for Angie, please. Very beautifully done. Thank you, Angie. Now, having performed this Emily Gotave ceremony, we shall move into the Kanya puja, whereby the bride extends her salutations and seek the blessings of God as she commences her journey into this institution of marriage. And she hopes that in so doing, with God's grace, indeed all that she set about to achieve and accomplish during this marriage relationship shall be made possible through the blessings of Bhagwan. Hari Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Sharda Mataya Namaha, Gauri Narayani Namaha, Om Vakratundang Mahakayam Suryakoti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kurume Devam Sarvakareshu Sarvaram, Pratavitvarthalokang Devitvang Vishunavritang Tvam Chadharimam Devi Pavitram Kuruchasaram Shri Asanang Vinayugaha. Om Swastina Indro Virastravahang Swastina Pyushang Vishavira Swastina Rakshari Varishtanimi Swastino Brihaspati Dadhatu Om Paya Prativyang Paya Shadhishu Padivyam Tarikshi Payuraha Payaswaring Pradishang Santu Maham Om Vishnu Rada Tamasi Vishnu Stapatreshtu Vishnu Turasi Vishnu Dhruvasi Vishnu वैष्णवामसि विष्णवीतमामग्निदेवतां वातुदेवतां सूर्योदेवता चन्द्रमादेवता वसुदेवतां रुद्रदेवतामादित्यदेवतां मरुतोदेवता ईश्वरेवदेवतां बृहस्पतिर्वरिन्द्रोदेवतां वरुणो देवता ओम ध्यौ शांति अंतरिक्षकं शांति पृथ्वी शांतिरापा शांति औषधय शांति वनस्पति शांति विश्वदेव शांति ब्रह्मा शांति सर्वगम शांति शांतिरेव शांति सामा शांतिरेधिओं विश्वानि देव सवितरदुरितानि परस्पयर्भद्रं तनया स्वाहा श्री सुशांतिर्भवतु इति स्वस्ति वाचनम् हरि ओम तत्सत्रियाम तत्सर्विष्णुर्विष्णुर्विष्णु नमः परमात्मने श्रीपुराणं पुरुषोक्तमायात् विष्णुर्मानस्याम् ब्रह्मनिर्विद्यं प्राधार्यं श्रीश्वेतवारकल्पीवाय वस्वत् मनवं दृष्टां विंशतितमे कलियुगे कल्पितं चरणे जम्बोधिपमणिकाचावर्तां तर्कतिगिरीशिं श्रीमहाविष्णु प्रजावृचित्रे बहुरावतारि वर्तमानि यथानां संवत्सर विक्रम संवत 2079 वर्षमुक्कायनि महामङ्गलप्रेमासानां मासोत्तरमासमुखमास्यम् आषाढमास्यं कृष्णपक्षें शुभयोध्यामुग्राशस्तु सूर्य उत्तरायणं चनक्षामेवं गुणविशेषेण विशिष्टायां शुभपुण्यनिधौ सकलश्रुति स्मृति परमप्राप्तकामां अमुगोत्रपनां कृष्णकामनिस्मानां कन्यानामस्यां ऋणनामस्याम् ओम श्रीमुखा वाश्रे मणिकादेशे न्यूयॉर्क नगरे 21 श्री विवाह संस्कार श्री कन्या पूजनाठाय गौरी गणपति देवतां स्थापनाठाय ओम श्री संकल्पम अहम करिष्ये adorations to Mother Earth Prithvi Mata ओम भूरसि भूमिरस्य रीतिरस्य विश्वधायां विश्वस्य भुवनस्य धात्री पृथ्वी च पृथ्वीङ्गां पृथ्वी माहि प्रेम से पृथ्वी माता की जय. The bride seeks the blessings of Sri Ganesh Bhagwan and Gauri Mata. Lord Ganesha is the remover of all obstacles, and so as she enters into this most sacred ashram of the Grihastha, the householder, she prays that, O Lord, I seek your divine intervention at every appropriate moment during my journey, and may your blessings guide me along to remove whatever obstacles may come our way and to enable all our efforts and activities to culminate in success. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah, Gauri Narayana Namah, Agakshe Bhagavan Deva, Swastanang Parameshwaram, Aham Puja Karishyami, Grihanam Sanmukhu Bhavi, Agakshe Varade Devi, Daitya Darpan Shuddhane, Puja Grihan Sumukhi, Namaste Shankar Priye, Ijoi He Rang Bhamahesh Putram, Samasta Vignona Virash Rakshang, Mangalya Pujang Pratamang Pradhanam, Grihana Devang Bhagavan Namaste, Om Saramangala Mangalye, Shive Saravad Sadhike, Shani Trammake Gauri, Narayani Namastuti. प्रेम से श्री गणेश भगवान की जय, गौरी माता की जय.
गौर पूजा गौर पूजा गौरी जनत हो, गौर पूजा गौर पूजा गौरी जनत हो, तुम हो भवानी मैया, तुम हो भवानी मैया, नाम तुम्हारो. अरे गौर पूजा, अरे गौर पूजा. गौर भरोसे मैया मैं जग ठाण्या तोहरे भरोसे मैया मैं जग ठाण तोहरे भरोसे मैया मैं जग ठाण्या अरे मोरे जग पूरा न हो मोरे मैया मोरे जग पूरा न हो मोरे गौर पूजा गौरी जनत हो तुम हो भवानी मैया तुम हो भवानी मैया नाम तुम्हारा गोरे भरोसे मैया मैं जग डोठो चंद्रे अरे गोरे भरोसे मैया मैं जग डोठो मोरे जग पूरन मोरा जग पूरन हो मोरी मैया मोरे जग पूरन हो मोरी अरे गौर पूजा गौरी जनत हो तुम हो भवान मैया अरे गौर पूजा गौरी जनत हो तुम हो भवान मैया तुम हो भवान मैया तुम हो भवान मैया नाम तुम्हारो
नारायणीभ्यो नमः। ओम मलयारिणी सुगन्धिनी मालत्यादीन विप्नुयाहितान् पूजाटं पुष्पान् प्रतिगृहीरान् पुष्पं च समर्पयामि। गौरी गणपति नमो नमः। या कक्षं या तिष्ठं सुपुष्पं पूजा गृहाणाम् अजितं च सुरश्रेष्ठा कुङ्कुमकार सुवर्णं मया निवेदितां भक्त्या पूजाठं प्रतिगृहीताम्। ओम कान्दाप्रदं पुरुषं पुरुषस्परां देवां स्त्रीं चित्रेण चां श्री गौरी गणपतये नमो नमः। ओम वनस्पतिरसोद्भूतो गन्धाद्यो घनोक्तमाम् आग्रयां सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं च प्रतिगृहीतां धूपं च समर्पयामि। मन्महागणाधिपतये नमो नमः। गौरी नारायणीभ्यो नमो नमः। जय गणेश देव माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेव। जय गणेश देव।
जय गणेश देव माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेव। जय गणेश देवा।
लधुवन को भोग लगी संत करे सेवा लधुवन को भोग लगे संत करे सेवा। जय गणेश देवा।
जय गणेश देवा माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश देवा।
एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी माथे पे सिंदूर सुहे मूस की सवारी दुखियों को दुख हरत परमानंद देवा। जय गणेश देवा। जय गणेश देवा
माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश देवा।
अंधन को आँख देत कोढ़ियन को काया बांझन को पुत्र देत निर्धन को माया भाव से पार करो नाथ भजन करो तेरा। जय गणेश देवा।
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा, जय गणेश देवा।
जो तेरा ध्यान करे ज्ञान मिले उसको, ज्ञान मिले उसको। छोड़ तुझे और भला जाऊं मैं किसको, जाऊं मैं किसको। हे देवा कृपा करो कष्ट हरो मेरा, जय गणेश देवा, जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा,
माता जाके पार्वती पिता महादेवा, जय गणेश देवा,
जय गणेश देवा, जय गणेश देवा, जय गणेश देवा, जय गणेश देवा। गजाननं भूतगणाधिसेवितं कपिजम्बोफलचारुभक्षणं, उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारकं नमामि गणेश्वरपारपङ्कजं। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु माता रूपेण संस्थिता, नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। प्रेम से श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। ओम महालक्ष्मी विद्महे सरस्वती धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात्। The bride then seeks the blessings of the Divine Mother, Mahalakshmi Ma. O Mother, as I enter my new home and start this new phase of my life, together with my spouse, my better half, it is my prayer to you that His light shall also remain kindled along every step of my journey, to eradicate all forms of darkness, born of poverty, of pain, of misery and suffering. And may your divine blessings usher into our lives all things that are desirable, all things that are conducive to our well-being and our happiness throughout this entire journey of marriage. Om Om Namaste Astu Mahamaya Shri Piteswara Pujite Shankha Chakra Gada Haste Mahalakshmi Namastute Namastute Garudarute Hulasura Bhayankari Sarva Papa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namastute Siddhi Buddhi Pade Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayani Mantramurti Sada Devi Mahalakshmi Namastute He Lakshmi Karutu Kalyanam Arogyam Sukha Sampada Mam Shatra Vinashaya Deepajyotir Namastute Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Mata Rupena Sansita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. प्रेम से महालक्ष्मी माता की जय।
हो जय महालक्ष्मी माँ, नैया मेरी पार करो। जय महालक्ष्मी माँ, नैया मेरी पार करो। ओ झोली फैलाए खरी, झोली फैलाए खरी, मैया भंडार भरो। जय महालक्ष्मी माँ, नैया मेरी पार करो। ओ जय महालक्ष्मी माँ, नैया मेरी पार करो। तू है दयाल मैया ममता भरी, लाखों दुखियों के तू है विपता हरी। हो तू है दयाल मैया ममता भरी, लाखों दुखियों के तू है विपता हरी। हम भी आए शरण तिहारे, हम भी आए माँ शरण तिहारे, हम पर भी माँ ध्यान धरो। जय महालक्ष्मी माँ नैया मेरी पार करो। हो जय महालक्ष्मी माँ नैया मेरी पार करो। आई विवाह मेरी दीपक जले, तेरी कृपा हो तो सभी फूले फले। हो आई विवाह मेरी दीपक जले, तेरी कृपा हो तो सभी फूले फले। सुख संपत्ति से घर भर जाए, सुख संपत्ति से घर भर जाए, इतना सा उपकार करो। जय महालक्ष्मी माँ नैया मेरी पार करो। हो जय महालक्ष्मी माँ नैया मेरी पार करो। झोली फैलाए खरी, झोली फैलाए खरी, मैया भंडार भरो। जय महालक्ष्मी माँ नैया मेरी पार करो, नैया मेरी पार करो। हो नैया मेरी पार करो।
महालक्ष्मी नमस्तुभ्यं सुरेश्वरी। हरे प्रिये नमस्तुभ्यं नयानिधि। लक्ष्मी ज्योति परं ब्रह्म, लक्ष्मी ज्योति जनार्दन, लक्ष्मी हटमा पापम सर्वलक्ष्मी नमस्तुते। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु माता रूपेण संस्थिता। नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। प्रेम से महालक्ष्मी माता की जय। ओम अग्निमिरे पुरोहितां यज्ञस्य देवमृत्वजं होतारं रत्नधातमाम्। अग्निदेवाय नमः। ओम आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। व्यो नमो नमः। ओम प्रजापति स्वाहा। इदं प्रजापतिर्होम इंद्राय स्वाहा। इदमिन्द्राय नमः। ओम भू स्वाहा। इदं अग्ने नमः। ओम भुवः स्वाहा। इदं वायुर्ओम स्वः स्वाहा। इदं सूर्याय नमः। महागणाधिपतये नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्री गौरी नारायण नमः स्वाहा। ओम महालक्ष्मी माताय नमः स्वाहा। ओम सूर्याय नमः स्वाहा। ओम चंद्राय नमः स्वाहा। ओम भौमाय नमः स्वाहा। ओम बुधाय नमः स्वाहा। ओम बृहस्पति नमः स्वाहा। ओम शुक्राय नमः स्वाहा। ओम शनिश्चराय नमः स्वाहा। ओम राहवे नमः स्वाहा। ओम केतवे नमः स्वाहा। ओम कलशदेवाय नमः स्वाहा। ओम अरुणाय नमः स्वाहा। ओम ब्रह्मणे नमः स्वाहा। ओम विष्णवे नमः स्वाहा। ओम रुद्राय नमः स्वाहा। ओम सर्वदेवेभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। आचमनीयं पुण्याचमनीयं शुद्धाचमनीयं समर्पयामि। अग्नि भगवान की जय। Now, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I shall now invite to the mandap a very important member of the bridegroom's party, and he is the bridegroom's older brother, the baraka bhai. So we want to thank you for being here today and for playing this role of the baraka bhai. Om Pratavitvyarvata lokang devitvang vishunarvita Tvam cha dharyamam devi pavitram kuruchasanam Shri आसरं विनयोगः। प्रेम स्वरूप श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। Wash your hand. Om Hastam Prachalang Samarpyami Govindaya Namah. Keshavaya Namah Swaha. Madhavaya Namah Swaha. Narayanaya Namah Swaha. Wash your hand. Hastam Prachalang Samarpyami Govindaya Namo Namaha. Our prayer now to Lord Ganapati Bhagwan. Om Gajaranam Bhutaganari Sevitam Kapita Jambo Vadachara Bhakshanam Umasudam Shoka Vinashakarakam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam. Prem Sura Sri Ganesha Bhagwan ki Jai. So Ryan, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. You ever done this before? First time? You done it before? A big brother? So you understand what it means, really? You remember? Did you remember? Yeah. The last time? Yeah? What you remembered? Okay. All right. So there's a reason why the baraka bhai is required at this stage in the ceremony. Because at this point, the bride believes that before she moves on with the rest of the ceremony, she needs some form of a guarantee from a senior or an authoritative person from the bridegroom's family who she could turn to in moments of need, if need be, and whom she could trust, whom she could depend on, and whom she knows would not fail her. And that person today happens to be you, the baraka bhai. The word baraka means, bar means the bridegroom, ka means of, and bhai means brother. So baraka bhai means the bridegroom's brother. So that's what you are today, playing the role as the legitimate brother of the bridegroom, the dulha. Now, as we know, to begin with, we all have difference in opinions as human beings. We don't see things equally. We may have different concept of different things. And that is healthy. It's good to have different opinions. You can see the same thing differently from different angles. And hence, these differences also develop between couples, married couples. And the purpose of marriage is to neutralize these differences so that both can be on the same page at the end of the day. That's all? Right. However, there are differences, there are disagreements, which if and when left untreated or unattended or unresolved, then the result could be chaotic, catastrophic for the relationship. And that explains why there are so many social problems today in the world between couples, because they can't really find a common ground when it comes to decision making and seeing things from the same perspective, right? So this is where you come in. So the first duty is, God forbid, should there be any kind of misunderstanding between this couple, any kind of disagreement which they cannot handle and resolve by themselves, and which would require help from an external source, then Lynda will give you a call. And she'll say, Ryan instead of Brian. This is what is going on. And then you're expected to render assistance there and then. To give your input, your intervention, to always ensure that his marriage stays on track. So in that respect, you're serving in the capacity of a mediator, or a peacemaker, or a moderator, as the case may be. Secondly, back in the days, the bride always wants that kind of assurance from the baraka that should there be any kind of economic hardship during this marriage, there's someone who she can turn to for help, to help them out economically. Now, that seldom happens these days. We're living in a different society, in a more upgraded society in other parts of the world. But life has many twists and turns. We don't know what happens, what can happen tomorrow. So she wants that assurance also from you, that should both of them be in any kind of financial need or suffering any kind of financial hardship, that of course she can trust you and turn to you for your help under those dire circumstances. And thirdly, the bride should be seen and respected by you, not only as a sister-in-law today, but more so as a sister, a younger sister. And that respect must always be cultivated and maintained by you. And the brother's duty is always that of protection of the sister. So if it all becomes necessary, then she would expect you to render such help and protection, should that be required at any given point during this marriage. These, in a nutshell, are your responsibilities. And let me ask you now, in the public, are you willing to comply with these?
Of course, yes.
So you heard what he said? What he said? Of course, yes. Right. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So to endorse what you just promised the bride, you're going to place what is called a tag pot, this special garland around her neck, and this is a bond between the baraka and the bride. Hariyong mano jyotya jasyang prasparim tanuvarishta yagya gwang samidham daratu vishvedeva padishtaya Om Mangalang Bhagwan Vishnu Mangalam Ganuja Mangalang Pundarikaksham Mangalay Tanu Hari. And you brought some gifts here. You brought a gift for the bride. Go here. You have a monetary gift for the bride. You present it to the bride. And you have one gift for the Bauji also. You give it a right hand. Okay. You have no more gift left. Okay. All right, so Ryan, we want to thank you for your role and your commitment to this couple. And we hope and pray that you never ever have the cause to do your job, because things will always be well with them. You never have the cause to intervene. That's what we want. But if need be, the bride now is feeling very much assured that you're someone she can trust, someone she can truly depend on, someone reliable in the event of any unfortunate circumstance should arise. So we thank you very much. And now we offer a prayer. We are asking Bhagwan to bless this special bond, special union between the baraka and the bride. And may this love and understanding always flourish and prevail between both parties. Om Dhyang Sara Parivavagnim Vishturam Tritaspadam Shiviram Junatang Shrenyam Pratartyahang Pradapabhariputam Bande Mahapurusade Charanarvindam Paloma Primahadeva Ki Jai. So thank you very much. Give Ryan a big hand, please. And this is the role of the baraka. Yeah. So this concludes this part of the ceremony, and the bride shall retire and make way now for the arrival of the king of the day. And you'll see him in a few moments.
you for all that participated in his entrance. Everyone, can you kindly take your seats as we turn our attention back to Pranam Garland.
So now that the Dulaha has made his appearance here at the Mandap, the next step is called the puja. And puja is where the father of the bride, representing Raja Janak, will offer his salutations and his reverence to the bridegroom. Today he sees Brian coming to his home, not as the bridegroom, but he comes as Sri Ram to take away his precious Sita with him. So the same formalities that were extended to Prabhu Sri Ram by Raja Janak, the same is extended to our bridegroom Brian today by the father of the bride. Now, in this puja, this puja, a mixture of honey and sugar and ghee is called madhupark, is given to the bridegroom, where the family prays for his strength in his body, for good health and longevity, and for his ability to execute all the functions of a good husband during this marriage. So we shall proceed now with the puja, and we'll have an appropriate rendition to go along with this.
सुर नर मुनि सब आसुर हो कर देखते पाक तिहारो कुंवर जी लगन मंडप में पधारो लगन मंडप में पधारो कुंवर जी लगन मंडप में पधारो सुर नर मुनि सब आसुर हो कर देखते पाका तिहारो कुंवर जी लगन मंडप में पधारो मेलनी नाप की प्रीत निभाओ सजना परत पर प्रीत पधारो हे रघुनंदन आरती वंदन हे रघुनंदन आरती वंदन सत्य सत्य बार हमारो कुंवर जी लगन मंडप में पधारो लगन मंडप में पधारो कुंवर जी लगन मंडप में पधारो श्री चरणों पर अक्षत अर्पण कहने करो ये कुछ समर्पण हम निर्धन जो बेकर जो हम लगन मंडप में पधारो कुंवर जी, लगन मंडप में पधारो कुंवर जी, लगन मंडप में पधारो।
हो बर पूजन को चली रे राजा जनक जी, दुल्हा बने राजा राम रे। बर पूजन को चली रे राजा जनक जी, दुल्हा बने राजा राम रे। सुंदर आरती उतारे, सुंदर आरती उतारे आज राजा राम के। माथे तिलक है शोभे, माथे तिलक है शोभे, सुंदर लागे राम के। बर पूजन को चली रे, बर पूजन को चली रे, दुल्हा बने राजा राम रे। सब देवन मनाए, सब देवन मनाए, सुंदर घरी राजा राम के। बर पूजन को चली रे, बर पूजन को चली रे, दुल्हा बने राजा राम रे। दुल्हा बने राजा राम रे, दुल्हा बने राजा राम रे।
And with this Var Puja, the bride's father welcomes the Dulha as a son into his home. Now he has two daughters. This is his son, which he never had before. You know, when you guys finish talking, they will continue the ceremony, okay? That is not protocol. So the bride's father welcomes the bridegroom into his home, into his family, as a son, not as a son-in-law. Because in Hindu tradition, we choose rather not to use the term in-law. So son-in-law becomes a son, daughter-in-law becomes a daughter, mother-in-law becomes a mother, and father-in-law becomes a father. And this is the relationship that we choose to cultivate between members of the family. So today, Brian is welcomed into the Raman family as a son. And a lot of expectations are there of you, Brian. And it also means that officially, the search for a suitor for the daughter has ended with the coming of Brian to this home and to this family. So Brian, you've seen where Lynda's father, he has offered to you all of these obeisance and all of these reverence. And now you reciprocally, you must extend to him and the rest of his family your love always and your respect. And this is how the relationship should always be. Prem Sura Shri Ram Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai. And now we shall pursue the next step in the ceremony.
लकुश वादे
जम्बो दीपे मणिकारि शवरतां कर्करेकरेशं श्री महाविष्णु प्रजात बहुराध्यामुकां श्री कन्या पिता नाम श्याम मुनिदेव कन्या माता धनराजी नाम श्याम कन्या नाम नाम श्याम
आज
ओम
नहीं अरेवा आज नहीं अरेवा
विवादन काल कन्या दान से संकल्प अहम करेंगे
हो गईले पिया के तू प्यारा जाओ जाओ बेटी खुशी खुशी रहना.
Washing the feet of Sri Ram and Sita Ma on the day of their wedding. Take your right hand, wash your feet. Om Paryam 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 Samarpyami Samarpyam Paryam Pratigrihnami. All right. Okay. Remove your feet. Yeah. Remove it. Right. Right. Okay, now mother and father have done their duty. Mother and father have done their duty, and I want you to give this couple, Mr. and Mrs. Raman, a big hand, please. Indeed, both of you are great examples of Sanatan Dharma. You have done your duty well. You have raised your child well, especially in this society in which we live, where so many temptations are there, so many distractions are there, so many challenges are there. Nonetheless, both of you, you raised a beautiful child, and according to the norms of Dharma, you raise her in a mandir setting, you instill all the values in her, and today you comply with your duty in bringing her here to this mandap to present her to a worthy bridegroom, so she can take all these values that have been instilled in her to her new home and to her new life. And so we salute you for that. You've done your job well. Job well done as parents today, raising your children in the society. So both of you can retire now, having done your duty. And now we shall continue with the bride and groom. Next step in the ceremony would be the tying of the knot. It's called the Gat Jor or the Gat Bandhan. And this knot is very symbolic, it's very significant, because it represents the union not only of two pieces of garments, but of union of two hearts, of two bodies, of two minds, of two souls that come together on this day to remain united, not only for now, but according to our scriptures, for 7 lifetimes, 7 births. You're going to die and come back again, and each birth be reunited as husband and wife. Isn't that a good thing? Yeah. And this is one out of 7, the first of 7. So you stuck with each other for 695 years more. Yeah. All right. And then you extend that. So, Bauji will come and do this. You'll tie this knot between the end of the garment of the bridegroom to the garment of the bride. Om Samajantu Vishwe Deva Samma Turadhatanau Samma Turishva Sambhavatu Samo Hriday Dadhatu No.
बन्हा रहे जोरी बन्हा रहे रे, बना रहे जोरी बन्हा रहे रे, हो दुल्हा तोरे दुल्हन में बना रहे जोरी, दुल्हा तोरे दुल्हन में बना रहे जोरी. एक वर सीता एक वर तोरे दुल्हन में बना रहे, दुल्हा तोरे दुल्हन से बना रहे जोरी. एक वर सूरज एक वर चंदा, हाँ एक वर सूरज एक वर चंदा, चांद सूरज में बना रहे जोरी, हो चांद सूरज में बना रहे जोरी, हो बना रहे जोरी, दुल्हा तोरे दुल्हन में बना रहे जोरी। बना रहे जोरी बना रहे रे, बना रहे जोरी बना रहे रे, बना रहे जोरी बना रहे रे, दुल्हा तोरे दुल्हन में बना रहे जोरी, दुल्हा तोरे दुल्हन में, दुल्हा रे तोरे दुल्हन में बना रहे जोरी। बना रहे जोरी बना रहे रे, बना रहे जोरी बना रहे रे, दुल्हा रे तोरे दुल्हन में बना रहे जोरी, दुल्हा रे तोरे दुल्हन में।
Now I ask the bride and groom to please stand. Yagyasya deva mritvajam hotaram ratnadhatama Agni devaya namo namaha. Go ahead, Bablu.
राम सिया संगे
ओम
मिला भंवरिया
स्वाहा
आज जनकपुर में।
ओम सत्वन्नो मगने वरदस्य विद्वान् देवस्य हेरो अवयाचरितः
पहली भंवर जब
विश्वादिशारे धूमतः ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः स्वाहा तन्मगने वरुणाभ्यां
अरे दूसरा भंवर जब
ओमो भगवती
अभी तो
यक्तन्नो वरुणङ्गलानो
अभी प्रभुलायक होम करावत आज जनकपुर में। तीसरा भंवर जब सीता मोरे अभी तो चाचा की हो।
ओम अयासम अगणे
राम सिया घुमिला भंवरिया आज जनकपुर में।
ओम भुवस्वः स्वाहा अम्मगणे जात वीर मम ओम ये देवतन पाचा पिता महांतः विष्णुर्यान सवितोत विष्णु
आज जनकपुर
मरुतः स्वकर्कः।
अरे चौथा भंवर जब
ओम भूर्भुवस्वः स्वाहा
अभी तो मामू के हो राम सिया संगे घुमिला भंवरिया आज जनकपुर में। अरे पांचवा भंवर जब घुमले रे सीता अभी तो मौसा की हो। अरे ब्रह्मा भी आए शंकर भी आए आज जनकपुर में। राम सिया संग
Swaha Swaha. Take your right hand. Swaha Jatavir Sinamaha.
अरे छुआ भवर जब सीता मोरे घूमने अभी तो भैया की अरे सतवा भवर जब सीता मोरे घूमले अब सीता भैले पराई अब सीता भैले पराई अब सीता भैले पराई सात भावरे जिस पे परे वो साथ निभाएंगे पर नारी के प्रीत काम कितने दिन आएंगे सात भावरे
भवा अभितिष्ठां प्रज्ञतो भार्यस्यां प्रियनातनः ओम सरस्वती प्रेरमय सुभंगे वाजिनाभितिं यां त्वां विश्वस्वमुतस्यां प्रजायामस्यामृतां यस्यां भूत स्मरास्यां विश्वमिदं जगत्. सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. Make the first step. Om Ekamishe Vishnu Swanetu. We shall acquire wealth together. Second step. Om Dvevja Vishnu Swanetu. We shall grow in strength together. Third step. Om Trinath Posha Vishnu Swanetu. We shall bring happiness to our home together. Fourth step. Om Chatwari Vibha Vishnu Swanetu. We shall advance in age together. Fifth step. Om Panchachva Vishnu Swanetu. We shall work for the welfare of the world together. Sixth step. Om Shar Ritubhya Vishnu Swanetu. We shall sail through all the seasons together, and may all four seasons be favorable to us. Last step. Om Sakhe Sapada Bhavasa Mam Anuvrata Bhav Vishnu Swanetu. We shall remain each other's best friend and companion as we stand here today, two perfect halves that come together to make a perfect whole. Prem Solo Sita Ramachandra Bhagwan ki Jai. You turn and face the audience. And now please put your hands together for our beautiful bride and groom. Now you would agree with me that this certainly is a match made in heaven, don't you agree? If you agree, then give him another round of applause. Now first of all, let me introduce to you officially the bride. And the bride's name is Lynda Bryan, and she is the daughter of Munidev and Indira Raman. Give her a big hand, please. Those of you who know this family a little more personally, or a little closer, would agree with me that Lynda is certainly a model child who grew up in this North American society. She's always very soft-spoken. She is the quieter of the two. Always smiling, always a happy child. She's followed the rules faithfully. She has done well with her life academically, has gotten her profession, and now in a position where she's ready to start the next chapter of her life. Many great things happened to Lynda during her lifetime, growing up in this society. But the best thing that ever happened to her was Brian. So Brian, you are one lucky young man, because you got the best fruit from the tree. You know that for a fact in your association with this family so far, right? Now every young lady like Lynda has dreams for a better future, for a bright future. And this dream can only be fulfilled when she gets this companion that she's been waiting for all her life. And here comes Brian to fill that gap. And so we are here today to do them the honors, to solemnize this union, and to wish them well, and to bless them, so that this which they attempt to accomplish for the remainder of their life will be accomplished through the blessings of God and all of us who are here today. Now, Brian, also, like Lynda, he's a wonderful young man, raised in a society. And he is the son of his father and mother, Sonny and Lily. Give the father and mother a big hand, please. They are here with us today. He is a young man who's well raised. You know, you talk to someone for the first time, you already get an impression not what kind of person he is, what kind of parents he come from, what kind of home he's come from, what kind of upbringing he's had. So I met him a couple of times, Brian, and I can tell you, he is certainly a wonderful, wonderful young man. He is a role model in this society. And he, like Lynda, is also done very well with his life. So please give him another round of applause, please. And you know, this is what makes us happy. It makes us happy that we know that the future of Sanatan Dharma and our culture is in safe hands. Like in this case, the hands of the bride and groom. Because they are the one who will be responsible to perpetuate the richness of this culture and take it to the next generation. The next generation will depend on them, how they conduct their lives. And whatever they have received from their parents and their grandparents, obviously, they'll pass on to the next generation, to their offsprings. Now, Brian, the bride is saying to you today that, oh groom, today I'm very, very happy, very delighted to be sitting next to you during this entire ceremony. But I realize one thing, and that is, I'm not sitting in the right position. I'm supposed to be on your left-hand side, not on your right-hand side. I belong on your left-hand side. But I'm not there yet, because there are 7 requests of mine to which you must respond positively. And if you agree to them, then unhesitatingly, I shall join you on your left-hand side to be called your newly wedded wife. Are you prepared, ready for them? Yeah. Now, these vows are very important. They may sound not very important, but they are very important. Together, they become the constitution of marriage. And if every couple, you live their lives and according to these norms, then there will be no problem during your marriage life. And you set a great example for other couples as well, especially for your children. So the first, she says, Tirta vratodyang panayagyadanang maya satvam yadikanta kurya bhamangamaya mitratvariyam jagada Kanya prathamam kumari. So she says that, O groom, there are 4 words here. One is tirt, one is yagya, one is dan, and one is vrat. Tirt means pilgrimage. Vrat means fasting. Yagya means sacrifice. Dan means charity. If at any time in the future you'll be desirous of engaging in any one or all 4 of these, first and foremost, the bride is saying that she must be consulted. You must discuss this with her, and once her consent is given, then both of you should join together and embarking on these, and not you alone. Do you agree?
Yes.
Secondly, Avyang Pradana Ramadang Pratasya Kavyang Pradana Yiri Pujayita Bhamang Gamaya Mitratvariyam Jagada Kanya Vachanam Dudiyam. Now there are 2 words here called Havyadan and Kavyadan. Havyadan means, as per your family tradition, you may be accustomed to perform certain pujas during the year. And again, perform or make offerings to your pitras, the ancestors. Like you have pitripaksh, offerings for the departed ones. If and when these thoughts come to mind and you're desirous of engaging in them, again she says, she always reserves the right to be sitting by your side, engaging in religious worship and in offerings to your ancestors. And at no time must you ever act alone. Do you agree?
Yes.
Number 3, Kutum Marakshang Bharadairitvam Kurya Pashurang Paripalanam Cha Bhamang Gamaya Mitratvariyam Jagada Kanya Pacharam Tatiyam. Now this one regards a family. And it's a very important one. Because many times, you see, as we know, this marriage is between two families. Your biological family and her biological family. Both families come together to become one beautiful family. Now, you have strong family ties. She also has strong family ties. You may be approached by a member of your biological family at any given time in the future, seeking any kind of help or assistance, monetarily or otherwise. And you may be inclined to render such assistance because of the kindness of your heart. Now, before doing so, she says that, "Oh groom, first and foremost, you must consult with me and let such contribution be approved by both of us. And at no time should you act ever alone. Similarly, should any member of my biological family be in any kind of need, I would expect you to cooperate in a similar manner." Do you agree?
Yes.
Number 4. Ayang vayodhandranarikanam prishtvajihe Chadutang viradya bhamangamaya mitaratvariyam jagara kanya vacharam chaturtham. Now this one regards the managing of your finances. Prior to this moment, or prior to some time, it was about yours and hers. Right? Now from this day onwards, it's not about yours and mine anymore, it's about ours. So it means that from this point onwards, should you want to engage in any kind of business deals or transactions that will involve money, whether it is buying or selling, or lending or borrowing, as the case may be, her signature is equally important as yours. At no time would you ever act unilaterally, doing or embarking on any kind of negotiations or business deals or transactions on your own, without her prior consent and approval. Do you agree?
Yes.
Number 5. Divalayaram taraka kupang bapi viradyangata pujayetah bhamangamaya mitaratvariyam jagarasa panchavakimetat. You may be approached by members of the community for a contribution, donation towards any worthy cause or project that will benefit society, such as building a temple, building a school, building an orphanage, or a senior home, or digging a well. Whatever it is, the nature of the project that would require any kind of, or solicit any kind of donation from your part. Again, she says, before making a pledge or commitment to disburse funds from both of us, I would expect you to first discuss it with me and let that contribution come from both of us and not from you alone. Do you agree?
Yes.
Number 6. Desham tareva supuram tareva vyara viradhyakra vikrayotvam bhamangamaya mitaratvariyam jagara kanya vacharam chakashtam. You may have the cause to leave home, to travel to a distant location, either for business or for pleasure, for a vacation or job related, as the case may be. She says that, "Oh groom, before doing so, always remember, I reserve the right to join you and accompany you on all of these trips. However, if because of the nature of the travel, I'm not able to do so, then at least I must be left under proper care and protection in your absence. And at all times, must you always stay in touch. I reserve the right to have full knowledge of your whereabouts when you're not at home." Do you agree?
Yes.
And lastly, Nasevaniyang parikiya jaya Toya bhavor bhavinika miniti Bhamangamaya mitaratvariyam Jagara kanya vacharam saptam. Now this last one regards fidelity in the marriage. And she says, "Oh groom, I expect you to remain faithful to me in thoughts and words and deeds, and to honor and to respect and cherish this commitment that you're making to me here today. And doing so, I shall readily sit on your left-hand side to be called your lawfully wedded wife." Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So give our Dulaha a big hand, please. He's agreed with all of these. Now, Lynda, it's his turn to speak. And you've heard loud and clear, he said yes, yes to all of your requests. Now, this is what he has to say to you. Madhya chitta nugatancha chittang saramaragya paripalanam cha pati vratadham paratvam kuryat sarasanam idam prapannam. Now he says that, "Oh bride, I have had no problem at all agreeing to your demands. And that's the reason why I'm here today, because I already accepted all of this long before I came to this mandap. However, this is what I would expect of you in this marriage. Number one, I would expect you to always cooperate in the decision making for both of us and for your family. Number two, I would expect you to practice to the fullest your pativrata dharma, which is a wife's dutifulness to her husband in thoughts, in words, in deeds. As Mother Sita was dutiful to Sri Ram, she abandoned all the luxuries of palace life to accompany Sri Ram to the forest of 14 years, to endure hardships only simply to be with her Lord and her husband. Thirdly, she says, today I am of good health. I can provide for both of us. But should my health be challenged or compromised in any way, then I would expect you to stick even closer to me under those hard situations and let both of us, together with our strengths combined, weather all these storms and emerge always a victorious, triumphant couple. And always we expect you to also, like you ask of him, to remain faithful to him in thoughts, in words, and by your actions. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. They didn't hear you.
Yes.
Okay. So give the bride a big hand, please. Yeah. All right. Now, these promises you made will be challenged with time. And all you have to do is to remember this day. This day and date when you said yes, yes, yes. And let this yes resonate louder then and be the source of motivation to always keep you on track and keep this marriage on track. What do you stand? Now to endorse what you just promised each other, the bride and groom shall proceed to exchange these beautiful garlands. Groom shall proceed to garland each other, and these garlands are a symbol of the acceptance of each other and their commitment to each other and their readiness to carry out all these vows of the marriage. First of all, Sita garlands her Ram, the bride garlands the groom.
सिया डाले राम गल जय माला सिया डाले राम गल जय
मंगलम चा मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनु हरि. And the groom garlands his bride.
दुल्हा तो श्री राम बनी है.
And now as you promised, the bride shall go on the left hand side.
दुल्हा तो श्री राम बनी है. लक्ष्मण देवरा सही बाला, लक्ष्मण देवरा सही बाला, सिया डाले राम गले, सिया डाले राम गले जय माला, सिया डाले राम गले. अरे जिनके बारात शिव शंकर आए, अरे जिनके बारात शिव शंकर आए, ओरे पीताम्बर मृगझाला, ओरे पीताम्बर मृगझाला, सिया डाले राम गले जय माला, सिया डाले राम गले जय माला, सिया डाले राम गले जय माला. और समधिन तो बनी मात कौशल्या, अरे समधिन तो बने मात कौशल्या, समधि दशरथ महिपाला, समधि दशरथ महिपाला, सिया डाले राम गले, सिया डाले राम गले जय माला, सिया डाले राम गले जय माला, सिया डाले राम गले जय माला, सिया डाले राम गले.
Now we have Panditji with us, and he representing the Dulha, the bridegroom, is come with his party, and I'll ask him at this time to give his blessings to the bride and groom.
Ram Ram to all of you this evening, and Honorable Panditji, guests, you know, coming here, listening to Panditji in this wedding, I think we should just take the bride home. Because nobody wants to listen to what's happening up here. Right? Yes, well, we should have taken. But anyway, the bride and groom, we want to bless them and give them all the best in our life, in their life. Brian, I know today you're taking that big step. Very big step. And you're joining the club with all of us. Brian, mom and dad, and the brother. Since my brother-in-law joined the family with us, he's been an honest, decent and a respectable brother-in-law, David. My sister also, and he shows the quality here today that this young man ready to show Lynda what he has made out of. Lynda, I am 100% sure you are in the right hands. And the few years that we know Lynda, like Panditji said, very quiet spoken, very decent, very intelligent person. And we really appreciate and welcome Lynda in our family and the rest of the family. We says, marriage life is not the civil rights. Marriage life is when two people come together and bring families together so we can make better family and grow great grandchildren. And I'm hoping and pray that that will happen. And my brother-in-law and sister will have beautiful, because Lynda is, look at Lynda, isn't she pretty? God, put your hands together for Lynda. And then we have a handsome young man sit right next to him, like the king. Right? So they will bring beautiful kids and this art with good culture, like Panditji says. This is the part where we teach them, grow them, and keep them by our side to lead them in the right path. Our blessing with you, Brian. Let us all join in simple prayers. Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Verase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitapate Namah. Om Ram Ram Rameti Ramo Rami Manorami Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanami Lokavirama Rananarangadirang Rajavanitrang Raghuvansanatanam Karunaya Rupam Karunakarang Tvam Sri Ramachandram Sharanam Praptiye. Our blessing with these two married couple, and may God continue bless you and bless the family so all of us can unite. And I want to thank all our brothers and sisters who came from Jersey. Please take your time. The weather is bad. Let's drive home back safe. And Panditji, I want to thank you very much. It's a beautiful wedding ceremony has done. And again, happy marriage life. Thank you.
Thank you, Panditji. Yeah, thank you very much. Well said. Now we shall move on with the remaining steps in the ceremony, which are not too many, about 3 or 4 steps, and then we shall conclude. The next step in the ceremony is the application of the sindur. It's called the sindur dan, whereby the bridegroom shall apply the sindur, the vermilion, on the forehead of the bride. And no Hindu wedding is complete without it. And the bride proudly displays this sindur as a mark of her loyalty, fidelity, faithfulness, and commitment to her marriage to her husband. So Lynda, you wear this with pride and joy. Everywhere you go, let the public know that you are such a faithful Sita to your husband, Sri Ram. Never hesitate to wear it every day. Proudly display it to the public. It's a mark of your faithfulness. And when you wear that, it protects also the union, protects your husband in his absence as well. Now this is a very sacred part of the ceremony, so it's being done privately, a private moment between the bride and the groom. Om Saubhagyamastu Om Shubham Bhavatu.
अरे दुल्हा के हाथों भराए दुल्हन के मांग सिंदूरवा दुल्हा के हाथों भरा दुल्हन के मांगे सिंदूरवा। ए मांग सिंदूरवा मांग सिंदूरवा, हाँ मांग सिंदूरवा मांग सिंदूरवा। दुल्हा के हाँ दुल्हा के हो दुल्हा के हाथों भराए दुल्हन के मांगे सिंदूरवा। पतिव्रत धर्म प्यार निभाने, हाँ पतिव्रत धर्म और प्यार निभाने। प्यारे के सिंदूर लगाए दुल्हा के मांगे सिंदूरवा। दुल्हन के दुल्हा के हाथों भराए दुल्हन के मांगे सिंदूरवा। दोनों कुल के लाज निभाए, हाँ दोनों कुल के लाज निभाए। हे माथे पर तिलक लगाए, हे माथे पे बिंदिया लगाए। दुल्हा के हाथों भराए दुल्हन के मांगे सिंदूरवा। दुल्हा के हाथों भराए दुल्हन के मांगे सिंदूरवा। दुल्हन के मांगे सिंदूरवा, हाँ दुल्हन के मांगे सिंदूरवा।
And now, having completed the sindoor dance, the bride and groom shall exchange these wedding bands or the wedding rings. These rings are very important. They're not following a Western tradition by any means, but these rings were used in the wedding of Prabhu Sri Ram and Sita Ma. And they tell of their love story, which is endless and infinite, as the power of this circle, this ring. So, first of all, Brian shall present this ring to his beautiful bride, Lynda. O Mangalang Bhagwan Vishnu, Mangalam Garnadvaja, Mangalang Pundarikaksham, Mangalayatanu Hari. And the bride responds with the same gesture. Mangalang Bhagwanara, Mangalang Rasadatmaja, Mangalam Janakinath, Mangalam Dhanudhara. It's a very special piece of jewelry that is called the Mangal Sutra, which every husband is expected to present their wife with. And when you wear this Mangal Sutra, Lynda, you're praying for the longevity of your husband and the longevity of this union. Mangalang Bhagwan Shambho, Mangalang Vritavakshacha, Mangalang Parvati Data, Mangalam Bhaktavatsala.
हो सैया सैया धुनी हो पियवा धुनी हो, अब नहीं हरवाना भावे। सैया सैया धुनी हो पियवा धुनी हो, अब नहीं हरवाना भावे। हे अब नहीं हरवाना भावे, अब नहीं हरवाना भावे। सैया सैया धुनी हो पियावा धुनी हो, हाँ अब नहीं हरवाना भावे। सैया सैया धुनी हो पियावा धुनी हो, अब नहीं हरवाना भावे। सहरिया से, अरे बम्बई सहरिया से सिनुड़ा मंगायो, अरे बम्बई सहरिया से सिनुड़ा मंगायो। मोरे मांगे भराए, मोरे मांगे भराए, अब नहीं हरवाना भावे, सैया सैया धुनी हो पियावा धुनी हो, अब नहीं हरवाना भावे। अब नहीं हरवाना भावे, अब नहीं हरवाना भावे रामा, अब नहीं हरवाना।
And we have complied with the laws of God. Now we must comply with the laws of the land. And that is, the bride and groom must affix their respective signatures to this marriage license to make them legally married to each other.
बरसतवा में राजा गवन लिहे जा, आय गवन लिहे जाए रे गवन लिहे जा, ए गवन लिहे जाए रे गवन लिहे जाए, बरसतवा में राजा गवन लिहे जाए, आय बरसतवा में राजा गवन लिहे जाए। दुल्हे राजा खूब सजाए, अरे दुल्हा राजा खूब सजाए, ताता ढोले बजाए लिए जाए।
Brian, please take the hand of your bride, Lynda. I want you to look her square in the face. Look in each other's eyes. And ladies and gentlemen, it is this point in the ceremony, invoking the powers vested in me as Hindu priest and licensed marriage officer by New York State, I hereby pronounce Brian and Lynda husband and wife. Brian, you may do as you wish. Lynda, you may return the same gesture as well. We want to congratulate both of you. You've chosen well, you've done well. You waited with patience for this day before you start your life together as a wedded couple. And for this, we certainly commend you. You are indeed a shining example to every young couple who are contemplating tying the knot. They should take a page from your book. Indeed, we'll have a stronger and a much more healthier society. Now, at this time, before we conclude the ceremony, there are a couple of people who will ask to speak, to give their blessings and their well wishes to this newly wedded couple. So I'll turn it over to Shibi. He has a list of names, and you'll invite them to come forward.
I thank all the family on both sides to come and witness this wonderful wedding for Lynda and Brian. And I wish everyone go home safe and sound and work and drive. Thank you all, and wish you all the best.
I want to welcome Lynda to our family. I know Lynda for 6 years. She's the most soft-spoken person I've met. She came to my house many times. She gave us great respect. We love her. We approve of this. My son is very intelligent, very smart, and he chose a very intelligent and smart wife. I want to congratulate both of you and wish you the best of luck in life. May God bless you both.
Padichi Sitaram. God bless everyone, Sitaram. God bless you all to attend this happy wedding with these two wonderful children. And may I God bless Brian and Lynda, my lovely baby girl. Whensoever he come and see me, she has to bring a flower for me, for Grandma. I wish you all the best, my baby girl. God bless you and my grandson, Brian. God bless you too and make a happy wedding life.
Thank you, Grandma.
Radhe chalo mana Hare Krishna Rama. Radhe chalo mana Hare Krishna Rama. Hare Krishna Rama Sada Sukha Rama. Hare Krishna Rama Sada Sukha Rama. Radhe chalo mana Hare Krishna Rama. Radhe chalo mana Hare Krishna Rama. Hare Krishna Rama Sada Sukha Rama. Hare Krishna Rama Sada Sukha Rama. Radhe chalo mana Hare Krishna Rama. Govinda 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 Ratanda Palo. Govinda 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 Ratanda Palo. Radhe chalo mana Hare Krishna Rama. Radhe chalo mana Hare Krishna Rama. Govinda Govinda Mukunda Krishna. Govinda Govinda Mukunda Krishna. Radhe chalo mana Hare Krishna Rama. Govinda 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 Namo Namaste. Govinda 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 Namo Namaste. Radhe chalo mana Hare Krishna Rama. God bless you, baby, my loving children. Oh, God bless you, my Brian, baby boy, and my Lynda, loving baby girl. God bless me too, baby. God bless you.
Many years with children, like I guess your mom and dad can't wait for that. And a fruitful marriage life. Congratulations again, Lynda and Brian. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. We've been waiting for this day for the longest. Thank you all for coming. We've been waiting for this day for the longest. And without all you here, it's not possible. And I do truly feel blessed that you guys are all here. I could feel the love in the air, especially the love for my wife. I love you.
Well, I can't top that. I just want to thank everyone for coming. It's very rare that we have all of our loved ones in one room celebrating us. And I've waited a very long time to call you my husband. And I love you too.
Last but not
You may not know me, but my name is King. I'm the eldest son of Sugawai. My mother, Garland, was passed away quite a few years ago. I'm here to wish Lynda all the best of luck, happiness, health, wealth, and strength, long life, happy life. I just want to mention that my father, when he was alive, and my mother, he, Lynda, and Lena was actually their life. They will not move without them. They will not live without them. I remember many times ago there, and they were on his chest, both of them, hanging on, thinking that that's life, nothing else is more important. Nothing can happen to them. They're protected, they're secure. I just want to say, if you're watching, your granddaughter got married today. You would have been proud to be here. I'm sure you're watching. Mother, I'm sure you're watching too. I want you to bless them. Take them in your arms, protect them, and give them all the wealth, happiness, and strength in the world. God bless you. And your grandfather is watching. I'm sure they are. God bless you guys. Thank you. Thank you all.
Intelligent. May Lord Shiva always convert their home into the abode of peace. May all the deities richly bless them, so that this union and this commitment that they make towards each other shall endure the very test of time and shall shine resplendent as a beautiful gem that the world shall admire and respect. Om He Rambam Surapujito Gunamayo Lambodara Sri Yuta Sri Shundo Gajakarnako Gajamoko Gambira Vidya Guni Gaurya Putra Ganeshwaro Harosuto Govinda Puja Krito Yatra Janmivakar Samay Kuryat Sada Mangalam Ganga Sindhu Saraswati Jayamuna Godavari Narmada Kaveri Sarayu Mahendratanaya Charmanvati Vedika Chiprang Vetravati Asurandi Gyata Gaya Gandaki Purna Punya Jalai Samudra Saita Kurvantuno Mangalam Lakshmi Kausava Parichar Kasura Dhanvantarish Chandrama Gava Kamduram Sureshwara Gajo Rambari Devangara Ashwa Saptamukam Sura Haridano Shanko Visham Chambure Ratna Niti Chaturasha Pratine Kurvantuno Mangalam Yang Brahma Varuna Indra Mardas Turamantri Vyastavai Virai Sangang Parakramo Parishri Gayam Tiam Samaga Dhyana Vatirtarkate Namanasa Pashyam Tiam Yogino Yasyantam Naviru Sura Suganam Deva Tasmai Namaha Om Shiva Hare Shiva Rama Sake Prabhu Trividita Panivarana He Vibhu Ajajaneshwar Yadav Pahimam Shiva Hare Vijayam Kurume Varam Kamalalochana Ramadayanithi Hara Guru Gajarakshaka Gopati Shivatano Bhava Shankara Pahimam Shiva Hare Vijayam Kurume Varam Om Mangalam Bhagwan Vishnu Mangalam Garanadvaja Mangalam Punarikaksham Mangalayatanu Hare Om Dhyav Shanti Antarikshagvam Shanti Pratavi Shanti Apa Shanti Oshadhai Shanti Banaspati Shanti Vishwadeva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvagam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi Bolo Siyavar Ramachandra Bhagwan Ki उमापति महादेव की पवन पुत्र हनुमान की प्रेम से बोलो दुल्हा दुल्हन की दुल्हा दुल्हन की loudest दुल्हा दुल्हन की. And now let the celebration begin. Congratulations.
mic check, testing 1, 2. I just wanted to congratulate Brian and Lynda. I wish you guys a happy marriage life. And I wish you guys the best. The couple of this century, they wanted to get married, but Lynda wasn't there when Brian got rough eye and stuff, so New Year got no bamboo to be my wedding tent. Oh yes, New Year got no, yeah, New Year got no bamboo to be my wedding tent. New Year got no bamboo to be my wedding tent. New Year got no bamboo to be my wedding tent. New Year got no bamboo to be my wedding tent. Oh yes, New Year got no bamboo to be my wedding tent.
फिर चली गई यार, आ गई चली गई, और चेक करके नहीं ला तू यार।
तू होगी 1 2 2 ओ कुड़िए what to do, ओ हो गई मुंडे दी पतंगा वर्गी, तू एवें उड़दी, ओ हो गई मुंडे दी हिला ते चलदी, टुक टुक तू करदी, मेकअप तू करदी अंग्रेजी पढ़दी, गिट पिट तू करदी, जिम्मे कोई न साडी विक्टोरिया, तू घंटी बिग बैन दी, पूरा लंदन ठुमकदा, ओ जदों नचे पैन दी, पूरा लंदन ठुमकदा, तू घंटी बिग बैन दी, पूरा लंदन ठुमकदा, ओ जदों नचे पैन दी, पूरा लंदन ठुमकदा।
हनीमून कर माहिया, आओ सामने तेरा की साइज है 10 माहिया, मन मन दा कुर्ता दिखदा है सब कुछ क्लियर माहिया, तेरे सामने लगदा है छोटा पलंग माहिया।
स्यापा
स्पीकर ते माडोना वजदी, ओ लगे बारे जिन
ऐथे कहंदी,
फैल करते कबूतर वर्गी, ओ मेमा फिरदी।
गुटरगु कर दे
गुलाबी शेर दा रंग है फिरंगी रखी तू सांभ के आ सानू ते लगदा 100 साल तो चंगी जगह कोई नहीं है बदिया तू घंटी बिग बैन दी पूरा लंदन ठुमकदा ओ जदों नचे भैन दी पूरा लंदन ठुमकदा तू घंटी बिग बैन दी पूरा लंदन ठुमकदा ओ जदों नचे भैन दी पूरा लंदन ठुमकदा सिद्धे गिलासी रख
लंदन ठुमकदा
पंजाबी स्टाइल विच
लंदन ठुमकदा
लस्सी दा गिलास खिच
लंदन ठुमकदा 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 लंदन ठुमकदा ठुमकदा ठुमकदा
बाजी वाह
ठुमकदा ठुमकदा ठुमबा ठुमकदा ठुमकदा ठुमकदा
इश्क मेरी जात बन गई तुम जो आए जिंदगी में बात बन गई सपने तेरी चाहतों के सपने तेरी चाहतों के देखते हूँ अब गई दिन है सोना और चांदी रात बन गई हो तुम जो आए जिंदगी में बात बन गई
absolute last call for vote.
be anything, everything going down. It could be water, it could be rum, it could be anything, everything going down. Cause the water's over me. And the bombs in the world is over me. Now watch the young left mind go down and they come back. you and I become as one. It's endless to me when we move to the melody. Come on and give it to me, baby, when you want to it. You raise my passion, yes, come on and give it to me, baby, when you want to it. I can rise my reaction, hot and groovy.
As you're continuing to celebrate, this is the last call for dinner, but we have a treat for you in the back. Mike Sarup is serving corn soup. Please help yourself to corn soup.
Do it If you came out tonight for Lynda Bryan, let me hear some noise.
feel violate if you accelerate. When I'm dead, the more you infiltrate. Woman, the more you tear down the wall and the dance in the air. People know want to see you all in the air. Never let us get me and I care. And they have them in the air, yeah, they there. You never get us stop me about fair. Pressure them, yeah, me there in the latest aware. Them just hear your career. But you never want to compare. But you never know where. You don't chase my life from here. Look at how here is the love. Look at how no one. Yo, what's the mix? Go ahead, girl, shut up! Some hits, lots of hits. Yes. Yo, what's the mix?
You want a proper fix? Call me. You want to get your kicks? Call me. You want the cheese sticks? Call me. You have the remix?
Call me. What's the other day? Yo.
She miserable, says she's stressed. So make me fall so. You me no hype, she must think for me far. When she take man, she must think a draw. I never move when the missile take off.
Yes, yeah, we here.
With the discipline and with the rod and the staff. Apply the pressure, make she choke and cough. She said, next time watch your talk off. Bad man no bed. With the baby mother rock. Bad man with hand. Make she go road go brag. Shut and close no wash. Big girl on the wear. Shut and you don't play. Sorry the game round here. The girl you have a habit when you turn into a trend. When they meet that guy will look like it will if it's men. All when you now going up and she then. Them girl make feel like that pretend. That is the heart of the friend.